Thanks for being here. I'd like to introduce Carter Hawkins, our Deputy Director.
Thanks, Don. Yep. Good afternoon, everybody. How are y'all doing today? First of all, before we start, could I get a show of hands of everybody that's maybe a CPA or an accountant or in the fiscal division of your agency, just so we can get an idea? We have quite a few fiscal people here. What about HR? Who here represents HR? Okay. All right. Well, thank y'all very much for that. I appreciate y'all being here. Good afternoon and welcome. Thank you for joining us today for this important kickoff about the future of IT in Arkansas state government. The purpose of today's meeting is for us to inform you about the data center optimization project and the push-pull team concept, as Donnie said. On February the 8th, 2018, all agency directors received a memo from Governor Hutchinson about transformation. And one of the projects that he outlined in the memo was the data center optimization project. And one thing I want to point out in his memo, at the very end, the last sentence, he notes that your support and cooperation is critical to the success of this project. So I just wanted to point out that the executive support that we received from the governor and the executive support and direction that he's presented to all of you in that memo. Director Jones, our team, and myself would like to ask you for your cooperation and support as well as we move forward over the next 4 to 5 years. After today's presentation, I hope you will share our passion in working toward a more efficient and secure IT infrastructure that will ultimately lead to more efficient workforce and increase our ability to efficiently deliver services and information to the citizens of Arkansas. In December of 2017, Gartner completed a data center assessment of Arkansas executive branch agencies. Most of you participated in that assessment. There were over 84 agencies, boards, and commissions that were part of the assessment, and around 17 different agencies were visited and interviewed. The assessment confirmed and revealed the following list of findings, which led to the recommended target state that you'll see in a second. The following is why we initiated the DCO project. Basically, the report identified inconsistent security across the executive IT infrastructure, a lack of standards, obsolete or end-of-life technology, limited economies of scale, duplication of effort, redundant systems, license mismanagement, unexpected expenses, and limited or no disaster recovery. And one thing that I'll point out is during the SAM, the Software Asset Management Engagement Survey that we had with SHI, in which we looked at your Microsoft licensing, and which ultimately led to the Microsoft Enterprise Agreement that we have in the state, we did identify that we were over licensed, or under licensed, I should say, in many of the agencies, which led to us identifying this was a risk going forward, and centralizing our infrastructure would help us manage that going forward. The Data Center Optimization Project is the initial phase of consolidating IT in state government. Data Center Optimization is what we are calling the consolidation of all disparate and siloed data centers across the executive branch. The reduction of data centers into approximately 2 locations in the cloud isn't a new concept. In 2011 and 12, I worked at DIS as a project manager. DIS leadership, my IT leaders across the executive branch, desired a more efficient IT infrastructure and architecture, but executive leadership at the time did not identify it as a priority. In addition, we are one of only 6 states that have not decided to consolidate IT. What's different now? It's a high priority for the governor because the governor understands the risks of not optimizing. We have his executive support, as well as support across executive branch state agencies and the legislature. The recommended target state is to optimize agencies into shared services environment, establish a co-location data center, improve DIS service delivery, direct cloud connectivity to major cloud providers, and to improve staff and skill alignment based on the project roadmap. Think about it. If you if you were the CEO of a 30,000 employee company, and you received information about the risks and were shown how you could positively impact the bottom line by $5 million a year after 3.5 years, what would you do? I would ask, how soon can we start, and what's it going to cost me up front, and when's it going to be delivered? That's what we're going to cover today. Gardner identified and evaluated competing alternatives for the future state in early 2018, February 2018. The recommended target state was reviewed and accepted by the governor, and the accepted state is being presented here. The target state consists of building shared services environment, which we noted here. The core building block, participation by all agencies, replacement of the MAC data center by a co-location data center that is at least 100 miles from Little Rock, investments in improving DIS service delivery capabilities, cloud capabilities, selective outsourcing of project or IT operations. And over throughout this project you're going to hear some terms, so I decided to go ahead and put the definitions up here and cover them today. Optimization is an act or process or methodology of making something, such as the design, system, or decision, as fully perfect, functional, or effective as possible. Think about all the servers and storage across the state. They're in separate server rooms and separate closets. Now think of the unused space on each of those servers and in that storage environment. If the unused space is added up from the decentralized infrastructure, there's significant waste across the executive. That was one of the things that was identified by the Gartner assessment, was that significant waste. Those resources were optimized as part of shared services. The wasted space could be efficiently managed with less waste. Infrastructure, the underlying foundation or basic framework as of a system or organization. If the foundation and the core is not organized in an efficient manner, strength and efficiency is compromised. We must organize our foundation and core to strengthen our position. This is key to increasing our security posture, standards, modern technology, economies of scale, and our disaster recovery, and overall technological and workforce. I'm not going to read this whole definition to you, but this is the definition from Wikipedia for shared services. But a couple of things I do want to point out is highlighted in red. Shared accountability. Everybody in this room and all executive branch state agencies will have shared accountability as we move forward with this project. We'll also have agreed results. We will agree with you to the results that you expect for the systems that we move into our shared services. And we will have defined measures. Working with you, we will define those measures that equal success. So, a couple of weekends ago, I was thinking about this presentation and, what should we be doing? Why are we really here besides all the things I already talked about? We're the IT people and HR and fiscal people in the room, but we're the ones that should be responsible for IT. Everybody in this room, not just DIS or not just you at your local or your independent agency. So I asked the question, should future state leaders worry about IT? I don't think they should worry about IT. That's our job. We need to worry about IT. Our future state leaders need to know that the IT is going to be there, be dependable, and be working for them when they're trying to solve problems and improve quality of life in Arkansas. Today, when working on this push-pull effort, I encourage each of you to think about the future, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, not next year, but the future of IT in Arkansas. Let those thoughts motivate your active participation. We're all engaged in this project to move the state toward a more efficient, centralized, and secure IT architecture, which will allow us to mature IT in Arkansas and to better position our leaders and workforce to solve problems affecting future generations. How can you help? Oh, sorry. The focus of the push-pull effort is to share information. That's what we're looking for. We're looking to share information with you and for you to share information with us. For this project to be successful, we have to help each other. We must listen to each other, empathize with each other, and we must learn from past mistakes, but get over it and move forward. We must cooperate, clearly communicate, have patience, encourage teamwork, maintain initiative as we move forward, and support each other. Lastly, we must hold each other accountable, because the success as well as any small or short-term failures will be shared. In closing, the status quo is no longer a viable solution. Together we must act on the direction from the governor. We must mitigate the significant risks and achieve efficiency. We're all in this together and we will be successful together. And thank you very much, and we'll take questions at the end. And I'll hand it back over to Don.